start. Fake notary seal and tampered chart. Sold your oath for cartel gold. Now El Paso knows the lies you told. You're a fake, a fraud, a liar in a suit, and the ghost of Richard Halliday's coming for you. You see, he didn't just run for office. He ran a con. He didn't just drop a name. He dropped the truth. He needed a Mexican name, Montoya for the vote. His campaign promise was fake too. Death for Cruces, that's the vow. His campaign promise was fake too. Death for Cruces, that's the vow he told you. But a plea deal was made with his hand. He's a liar at the cartel's command. You're a fake and a fraud, serving the FTOs, trafficking lies across border roads. James Montoya, liar in a suit, and the ghost of Richard Halliday's coming for you. Oye, Montoya, got ears like satellite dishes, but still can't hear the people screaming fake loud and clear. This ain't politics. This is a cartel network. This is an FDO. Ya basta. The people see clear. Your eyes saw the big gig, not the victim's tears. Justice for Richard Halliday. Fight, 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 fight. Expose this fake DA hiding in plain sight. Oh yeah, Montoya filled now with a 2028 date. Ni madre sin. It's a system rot from the cartel within. Fraudulent forms, fake notary applied. He's illegally sitting, should be indicted, tried. You can't fight for the slain with a DA this fake. They're laundering justice for the cartel's sake. The truth's in the timestamps, the crime's in the redactions. And if the DA's the problem, then the solution, federal action. Esto no se queda así.
Because I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter. It's a big difference. Big difference.
Hi, everybody. Okay, let's see if everything is working. So, a lot of big news today. So much big news on day 1,865 days since Richard was forcibly removed from his barracks room and his life was taken. We have September 9th, 2025, and a lot of good news. A lot of things being revealed, a lot of institutional support. That's why we're getting all of this information. And I hope this is a gift for the Cordero family. This is, if you don't know who Julio Cordero is, you're missing out. Especially if you're in El Paso, especially if you're in the United States, when you have an FBI agent that is really a hero, that is revealing poison pawns, cartel infiltrators, criminal infiltrators that are taking government positions and serving foreign and domestic enemies, and you have an FBI agent that is brave and loves the country enough to do their duty, to honor their oath, to investigate those that are exploiting our system and committing crimes at the highest levels. And that was Julio Cordero. He was an FBI agent there in El Paso, and he was fighting crime. He was investigating and fighting crime, and he is the lead FBI that brought down so many poison pawns, Pawns, like on a chess game, right? Like in a chess game. Um, and he was, we have it confirmed that he was looking into two big fish, the two big fish in El Paso. He was looking into that. So he was absolutely a target for this cartel infiltrated city region. Um, El Paso, Texas, Fort Bliss, Juarez, Mexico, because Juarez and El Paso with Fort Bliss are really one big city, right? They're like Siamese twin sisters. I said, there's just a border in between them, but you can walk over that border. There's through the port of entries, and you're right there. You don't even have to drive; you can just walk. So, so for that region, he's really a Julio Cordero is really a hero because that is the front door of the United States, the epicenter for the cartel criminal trafficking. And it was absolutely growing and growing and taking over his area. And he was fighting the crime. And so he was absolutely a target, a target. And so, his death a little over a year ago, just a little over a year ago, his death at Jefferson High School, I believe it was Jefferson High School, there at the El Paso ISD, at the hands of a El Paso ISD officer. And of course, the way the media has presented it, do we trust the media anymore? President Trump has it right. They're scum. They're absolute real scum. We can't trust what the media says, right? We can't at all. And I believe of course, in our son's case, you can't at all. Of course, in the Walmart case, you can't at all. They have not even reported yet on the Mayellas, and the Mayellas being the family of Patrick Crucius, and the Mayellas being in the federal courthouse, and the Mayellas being in the DA's office, and the Mayellas being in the FBI, right there in the FBI field office, and the Mayellas being at Texas Tech and the Texas Tech University Health Science Center, and the Mayellas being there in mental health care, right? In mental health care, uh, and denying Patrick Crucius a mental health evaluation. They haven't even reported on that. How can we trust the news? They haven't reported that President Trump wrote us two letters and absolutely squared away who our son is, and even more so, he is a national hero. His loyalty, his courage is indelible and will never be forgotten. And he's deserving of the respect and honor of all Americans. These are the words of President Trump about our son. And you would think that the Army, at least the Army Times, the Stars and Stripes, would absolutely carry a story about this because Richard is a real hero. He's a real hero. And the Army spends millions and millions of dollars portraying heroes to recruit more volunteers into the military. Richard should be the face of that, not because I'm his mother, but because of what I know about this case 5 years on and what I know of, some people can say something really nice about you and your outfit and maybe your children, and they're just being polite and nice. This is not the case with our letters from President Trump. He was not just being nice. He is tough. He's very tough. And he knows that he couldn't pull the wool over our eyes, that he had to be honest with us. Because over 5 years, we know our son's case backwards and forwards, and learning every day more and more. And we know that the generals lied to us, that the DA's office is compromised, that the judges there at El Paso Magistrate Court are compromised, that the medical examiner is compromised, that the county clerk, Delia Briones, is compromised. We know that Veronica Escobar is compromised. We know that Beto O'Rourke is compromised, is so compromised, that uh, absolutely President Trump in his letters, he had to tell us the truth, the truth. And the truth, we know what he said about our son is the truth because evidence says so. Evidence confirms it. And we're just very grateful that he finally uh, spoke out loud and put in the National Archives in writing in this letter um, the truth about our son, that he is a hero with unfailing loyalty and great courage, and that his legacy is indelible. That means so much to us. Um, that means so much to us to have the truth out there that he's a distinguished honor graduate for his cycle in basic training and AIT. He was number one. He was the guidon bearer. He was the whistleblower for Fort Bliss, and he knew about the Walmart mass shooting orchestration. He knew that. So it is, that the media doesn't cover that. Who can trust what the media says about the Julio Cordero case, right? They absolutely, and we have it on uh, very good sources that what the media was saying was not true, was absolutely not true, and that the evidence confirms that it's not true. That they again are spinning a story to conduct a cover up. And now we have the breaking news. We have the breaking news as who shot Cordero, Julio Cordero, the hero, uh, whose legacy, his legacy is indelible, and he's deserving of all the respect of the United States, of Americans, and he is never to be forgotten. Who shot him? Who shot this brave FBI agent, the Poison Ponds agent, right? And we have confirmed that it is an El Paso ISD officer by the name of Anthony Tony, you can say Tony Ray Acuna. Okay. Anthony Acuna. Anthony Ray Acuna. Anthony Tony Ray Acuna. That's the El Paso Independent School District police officer who fatally shot our hero, uh, Julio Cordero, the FBI agent, Poison Ponds agent. And we had to wait over a year for that, over a year for that release. Where is the body cam footage? Where is the video footage? Now, we just had, uh, and I wanted to make sure that I have the name right. This Ukrainian young lady that was just brutally stabbed 3 times in the neck, just very close to where we live. Not very, very close, but close. North Carolina, right? North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, which is close. Um, and her name is Iryna Zarutska. Iryna Zarutska. Um, and President Trump also released the video, released the picture, released, and this is what we need from uh, Anthony Acuna. Officer Anthony Acuna needs to release his body cam footage, right? Just like we got the footage for um, Iryna Zar, Zarutska, Iryna Zarutska. We need the body cam footage for Julio Cordero, right? Because why? Because absolutely there's no doubt in your mind then what has happened, right? Um, or you have more of the truth, right? You still have other evidence that's true, but you have the video that speaks volumes. The video of Richard spoke volumes and volumes, right? What a hero. What a wonderful soldier standing at attention, right? And the same thing, we need to know what was in that body cam footage of Officer Acuna. We pay for it. It's taxpayers' money. And this FBI agent, we know for sure, was absolutely investigating um, poison ponds, poison ponds, too big fish, too big fish. So we've been told. So, what did President Trump say about Iryna Zarutska? He said, "We have to be vicious, just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. We cannot allow violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death." Now, that's really echoes what he said in the first letter to us. Remember, he sent us 2 letters, August 6th and one August 7th. And he absolutely, echoes this sentiment that you cannot tolerate these violent offenders, those that forcibly removed Richard from his barracks room and took his life and then proceeded with a cover up. It is gruesome. It is, just the dismemberment, the connection with Plenitude Crematorium. It's all gruesome. It is violent. It is vulgar. It is vile. And you cannot be nice to these people. You need to hold them accountable and let God work it out, right? Put the death penalty on the table and they can go meet their maker and he can work it out with them. That's really what God even tells us to do with these violent offenders. And so clearly in this video, the perpetrator is very, very violent without any cause. Iryna was just minding her own business, looking at her phone. Uh, so this was no talking, she didn't provoke anything. This was just a hate crime. It really was a hate crime. And we need to see what kind of crime, what kind of, what provoked, what happened that caused Anthony Acuna to fatally shoot Julio Cordero. Now, there's amazing conflicts of interest here. And there's also a few other things that I think you should know. One of the things you should know is that Anthony Tony Ray Acuna goes by the handle of EP Sniper Wolf. EP Sniper Wolf. You know, uh, somebody out there, maybe that's a gaming handle, maybe that's a clue and what's going on here, because he is a good school buddy, really a very good school buddy, a very, very close good school buddy of the rogue, uh, cartel tied district attorney. He's rogue. He's rogue because he has that 2028 stamp. He did not install correctly. Why the authorities are letting him stay in that position illegally, I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. All I know is that the evidence confirms that he is a rogue, that he has a 2028 stamp, that he is illegitimate, that he is, you know, up to no good. But they're letting him impersonate a district attorney. And that is James Bonneau Montoya, Mr. 2028 stamp. And he's a liar. He's a cheat. He's a fake. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not calling him that. I am reporting to you what the evidence declares. The evidence declares that he is a liar. The evidence declares that he is a cheat. The evidence declares that he is an illegitimate district attorney and that he's impersonating right now a district attorney and that he's good friends with uh, Mr. EP Sniper Wolf, Anthony Acuna, the shooter fatally uh, shot our hero, Julio Cordero. And this is huge, huge breaking news. So we have other breaking news. Gosh, if that's not enough. Of course, we have now more and more confirmation of the tunnels underneath the El Paso ISD. Don't forget that Anthony Acuna is an El Paso ISD police officer. Don't forget that it wasn't too long ago that Delta One, Ulysses, I can't remember his last name. Ulysses, he was the tunnel cartel boss that he ran the tunnels going from Texas to or going from the United States to Mexico. And we have confirmed that some of those tunnels are under El Paso ISD schools that border the border, right? That are right there on the border. Now we have others that are coming out saying that even under the guise of a church, they will put these tunnels will be going to Mexico of churches on the border. And this is, you know, all the appearance of goodness of a school, of a church, because that is such a good cover. A lot of children go in and out of churches, especially when they have different services for them. And a lot of children go in and out of schools and lots of material, a lot of trucks, a lot of whatever. It's a very good cover for the criminal trafficking. And these tunnels are used for trafficking all the time. So, everything, for everything. So thank you, Anicia, for coming on. Thank you for your prayers and your love. Um, don't forget that the El Paso ISD police are up to no good, that they put in another impersonator, Manny Chavira. Manny Chavira didn't even have a peace officer's license, and they made him chief of police right after the Walmart mass shooting, right after, just days after the Walmart mass shooting, which he was a responder to. And we know that, the Walmart mass shooting was orchestrated. So anybody that was responding and did not speak out, uh, you know, um, well, you be the judge. You be the judge. Okay. So this is, all these things tie together. All this ties together. Um, and of course, I had to reveal about George Alhana. George Alhana is an attorney. He was in partnership with Yvonne Rosales. They had an affair, and he's married. He's a married man, and he set out to honey trap her. That's really um, uh, the breaking news coming out, the honey trapping of George Alhana, of Yvonne Rosales, because we were, like, wait a minute, what is going on here? And we've been writing Yvonne Rosales because she is really the duly elected holdover district attorney. When you have someone like James Montoya who did not install properly, he's not the district attorney, then you need a district attorney. And that happened under Bill Hicks too. He also did not install properly. He was not a legal district attorney. And so we've been writing her, letting her know all of this, that under the Texas Constitution, she is the rightful holdover district attorney, right? And that she can come back and assert her rights. She might have to fight for it, right? But she has good grounding to assert her rights and become the duly elected district attorney that she was. And she never did. She never did. And you're like, why isn't she? She took her oath. She worked very hard for her campaign. Twice, remember, she went for district attorney twice. Once she lost under with Jaime Esparza. She gave Jaime Esparza a run for the money, but the second time she won. She won, and it was an upset, right, against Montoya, Mr. 2028 stamp. But no, what a liar. But she won. She won, and so she could absolutely, um, honor that election, that hard work, and serve the people that voted for, well, all the people, right? All the people, not just those that voted for her. And this was always a question, and now we understand why, because she was having an affair, and it wasn't just any affair. He was manipulating. He was the honey trap. He got first assistant position, first assistant district attorney position. Now, you might think, okay, well, he's a lawyer, maybe, whatever. But no, when you look at his record, it's a very feeble record. And he absolutely does not have the requirements, the qualifications to be the first assistant district attorney. It's not an easy position, right? Unless you're crooked, so, he was not qualified for that position. So he did get it because of his relationship with Yvonne Rosales. And we have it on good authority that he absolutely pressured her into resigning. Now, the resignation is really looks like under duress. It doesn't look normal. It's not her full signature. It doesn't look like her signature at all. Even the R doesn't look like her signature. Um, so, it's very questionable, her whole resignation. But, the question is, why can't, uh, the other one other point before I go on to that is that he, as a first assistant and not being qualified, having a lot of problems, uh, and having influence over the cases, he messed up a lot of cases. Okay. He messed up a lot of cases. And so, we don't want at the front door of the United States, that is known for all of its cartel criminal trafficking, a a person that does a honey trap that's unqualified, that forces or manipulates or influences someone to resign, and then they take the hat. They take the hat even if it's just for a day or for a short time period, but they're totally unqualified and unsuitable for that position. Um, eh, I think that's very dangerous, and that's what happened. And there's more to the whole Alhana story, but if you're wondering, like we did, why Yvonne Rosales would never put her high heels on, we told her, put your high heels on and go and assert your position. Go and assert yourself. Um, you know, and she didn't. She never did. And now you know why. Now you know why. And now you know why the district attorney's office is such a big mess right now, because they don't have a legitimate district attorney in that office. And it's a real mess. It really is. Um, so that's big news. The tunnels are big news. The Colin Whetten and Leilani Hart is huge news. And I've been working on that. We've been working on that. And I will be releasing some information of those two, because they both are Mormons, okay? They both belong to the Mormon faction. And many in these cases that intertwine are Mormon. Okay, many of them are, and in our son's case, it's very important to know that Leilani Hart um, is a Mormon, and her situation is really unique because she confessed. She confessed to the worst type of crimes against children. And she wrote it down in an affidavit, and she had it notarized, and she submitted it. And it was right there in the hands of Colin Whetten in the El Paso field office. And then it makes a big difference if the two of them have an ecclesiastical relationship, if they if they are both in the same Mormon stake, in the same Mormon faction, and he's covering for her or whatever. That is something we need to know, and that is what it all looks like, right? That's where the evidence is showing us that he was covering for her, and that's why she hasn't been arrested yet, because you can't put in an affidavit like that with those kind of crimes. I mean, you're talking about the worst type of crimes against children, and them not respond. They have to respond. But if you have someone that is covering for you and doing whatever it takes to cover, and then the truth is not getting out there, then that's a real problem. That is a huge, huge problem. So that's why the Conal Whetten FBI assistant special agent in charge is so important, because of his um, Mormon ties with Leilani Hart. And this is not, hitting on the religion. This is a faction. This is their own actions within that faction. So, yeah, that is really huge. Now, the other, you know, news that we wanted to let everyone know is our priority, our top priority, number one priority is getting Richard's remains. And then number two would be getting accountability for Richard. So we are working diligently behind the scenes, um, doing just that, identifying crime, documenting crime, and submitting the crime, And you know, there's so much that we're still not finished with it. Can you believe it? 5 years. Um, and we are still documenting. And we, you know, it takes maybe 3,000 letters, right? We need to, maybe we're past 3,000 at this point, but we really need to count them because we've sent a lot out through emails and through the post. Um, so thank you so much for coming on because I just wanted to clarify that and every case that we support has something to do with getting us closer to um, getting Richard's remains and getting accountability. So thank you so much for watching, and we will be back tomorrow, God willing.